Hello guys, to another episode of the 100 Dart Challenge, and today we'll be looking at nerf DND Dynamite. So we're looking at one of nerf's DND blasters. Recently, this thing has gone on sale like everywhere. It went from $17 to almost $8, which is very weird, to be honest with you. And it's a very, solid blaster, to be honest. I have no complaints. My one complaint is I don't think this is a right-handed blaster. Just like how each side is shaped, because the tail kind of loops on this side like this. It's really better in the left hand than it is on the right hand, which is very weird. T-pull, pull from the bottom, holds 2 rounds. Loading is not great, just because how the darts do stick out. Don't know why you're doing that now, nerf. And 2 shots, pretty decent power. Handle, not great. It's better on left hand, but I'm not going to do it left-handed, because I'm better with the right. And it's just a very round handle, and is not great. Sure, the T-pull, plenty of space. I'll be able to do just fine with this blaster. I really don't know what this thing is capable of, but I at least do like the look of the D&D blaster. And with that, nothing else to say, so let's get on to the 100 Dart Challenge, shall we? D&D Nerf blaster. It's a little cold out, so 2 rounds, like a Jolt Prime, and ready, set, go. I'm going to try and load these things 2 at a time. Trigger's a bit weird to use. Have to make sure you're not pressing down on the trigger, and it's kind of hard with this blaster, that's for sure. Oh, drop a dart. Just keep firing. I keep dropping darts. These barrels are okay. Not the best, but they work. Doing what I can. What I got. Sticking to the sideways method. As always with this kind of T-pull thing. I keep missing the bar, it's weird. Because it's not perfect, but still. That trigger is awful. I keep accidentally pushing down on it even though I'm not even trying to touch it. Just overall, not a great ergonomic blaster. That's for sure. But this is probably the easiest blaster I got to be able to load 2 rounds at once. They're very nice and smooth to load 2 rounds. So, I'll give it that most of the time. Would be better, maybe, if the barrels weren't so slightly apart from each other. Did that thing fire 2 at once, or did I only load 1? Weird. Not what I was expecting. God. I have to wait for it to be fully primed before I press the trigger. That's what the issue is right now, that's for sure. This trigger is definitely giving me the most issues out of any blaster, that's for sure. But overall, we're still going good enough, I think. We're doing alright. Maybe breaks 4? I don't know, I'm not even looking at the clock, I'm just estimating. That's for sure. Not impressed with the DND blasters from Nerf. The melee weapons are kind of cool though. Would wish that they were less plastic like the older ones, but you get what you can take, huh? Alright, 4 rounds left. Final 2. That was way faster than I thought it would be. Dang. I was messing up a lot too. Because when you prime it, you can't just instantly press the trigger down. Yeah, like that. I was priming it right when I was pressing the trigger, and that never bothered me before, but for some reason it did with this guy. Well, dang, that's a really good time. What's going on? Another blaster. Man, we're just getting faster and faster, aren't we? This is not number 1, but it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Let's get to the review, shall we? And the placement of this guy. Alright, guys. So how did the Nerf Dungeons and Dragons blaster do? All in all, to be honest, it did pretty dang well. It almost took the top spot, but we'll get to that later. So, said T-pull. To be honest, the T-pull is kind of weird. Like, it's slightly rounded. I didn't think it would matter, but it kind of did, because my hands kept just wanting to slip off of it sometimes. Trigger. I mean, you see the placement of that trigger. It's terrible. It bends out. It's very easy to hit it. And I was having trouble every time I would prime it. I would accidentally push the trigger down too easily, even though my finger was sitting out like that, and I wasn't even trying to push it. Somehow it did. To be honest, I think this thing's greatest strength is the curved barrels, just because for some reason it just made it easier to load 2 at once, which is how it got its great time. But I still would like the barrels just a little bit farther out. Just a little bit, because, you know, the bottom barrel sits way lower than the top one. So there's issues with that. Because, you know, dart sticks out. And still, the ergonomics of this thing still are crap, because this is like a left-handed blaster. It's not really a right-handed blaster. It just feels way worse on the right hand than it is on the left hand. And its round handle is not great. But overall, that's about all I can complain about. So, to be honest, this is very firmly built. It's a nice built blaster. I like it. I enjoyed it. So, with that, well, enjoyed it. I made it through. With that, let's get to its rankings, shall we? So, how did the Nerf DND blaster rank? The Rancor, I think its name is. Well, if you cannot tell, it is now 2nd place, kicking out the Proton out of the top 10. Its time is 3 minutes, 28.95 seconds. Really good time. The 2nd blaster ever to go under the 3:30 mark. And with that, I think it did pretty dang well. It's right next to Double Crusher, still 4 seconds away. And now the list is all very close from each other, which is just insane, because we have the Double Crusher at 1, 2, the Rancor, 3, the Stranger Things Bat, which is still a very weird one. You should watch that episode. 4, the Triad, 5, the Barrel Break, 6, the Trimix, 7, the Jolt, 8, the 12 Menaces. Yes, you heard me right. I used 12 different blasters in that one, and somehow it's still not as good as the D&D blaster. 9, the Double Breach, and 10 is the Ultra 4, which will be next to be kicked off our list. Thanks for we'll get to that later. Alright. Bye-bye. Hello, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, and if I hit 200 subscribers, I will be mowed down by 1,000 arrival balls. Hope to see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.